Hey you guys, hey, welcome back to Southern Latitudes. And I did this great video for you yesterday on my cell phone, and then I realized today when I went to pull it off the phone that I took a picture and not a video. Anybody else done something silly like that? Oh, anyhow, I definitely did it. So this is going to be take 2 on my asparagus, and it was just short and sweet, but I think I'm going to add a little bit to the dialogue also this time. So I was wanting everybody to see and admire my incredibly huge asparagus right there. Look at that spear, and it goes all the way down. This is like the size of my knuckle. I mean, it's huge. I mean, finger. It's huge. And it was just admirable yesterday. I mean, it was just really funny. And I'm like, my big joke was that you could feed a family of 12 with this one asparagus spear. So, anyhow, I think the part I'd like to add to this is, first of all, it's dying. You can see a little bit in here. And I was able to save the red seeds from it. These here, right here, are the green seeds, and then they're going to start going red. You can kind of see can you see through all that? You can see right here, this one is just starting to go from green to like an olive, and then from there it'll go to a red. And I have those saved seeds in the shed already. Oops, oh, you got some asparagus stuck to you. Let me fix that for you. Look at this. I have wasps in here as well. I have 2. I'm not going to bother them anymore. Wait, hold on. Beyond the wasps, if I don't get stung. Can you see this in here? Let me grab it. There you go. There's one. So today is, let's see, August 25th, 2021. And this is this time of the year that they're starting to turn red. You want to save these, or if you want, you can let them just go into the ground and they will reseed themselves. But my goal is to save as many as possible so I can actually spread, you know, more crowns this way and even further out. I don't want them all to be stuck right in the same side of the bed. We want to actually increase our bed. One of the #1 questions I get about my asparagus is, what variety is it? And I was going to look it up before I came out here, and I totally forgot. It's UFC-. All right, you guys, stop the presses right here. Time out. I decided to do a little bit of research and make sure I came up with the right name for my asparagus so I could not misinform you. So the variety that I have right outside this window is the UC-157, and it's a F1 hybrid cross. So I want to thank Catherine White, who is from the Florida Food Forest, who gave me a couple sentences worth of information that there are some Texas trials going on this variety. I know that well, I don't know. I heard that it originated in Florida. So it is extremely heat tolerant, which I said before. You definitely want to add phosphorus, and it doesn't really totally go dormant. So you'll want to cut it back in December, and then you'll want to amend the soil with phosphorus to keep those roots in healthy condition and fed. And so then it's ready for the whole next year's worth of growing season. So there was also an article from Bob Morris out of Las Vegas, and he said that what I kind of already knew, F1 hybrid is not true to seeds. So the seeds that I'm saving right here will not be exactly like mom and dad. Will they be heat tolerant? It's, I guess, maybe 50% chance. I hope so. I think so. But if I've collected maybe 1 or 2 seeds the first year. The second year I collected like 6 seeds. This year I have like well over 50 seeds. I'm bound to find, I'm going to germinate all of them. I might give some to my son's in-laws, but other than that, I'm going to germinate them and put them in the ground in where I showed you in that plot. And then those that are heat tolerant will be able to continue on. So that's how I'm going to weed out the ones that are not true to the parents or closer to the hybrid, if that makes sense. So there are males and females. So the females are the ones that have the seeds and they bear the fruit. The males, I don't know. I think that's just the ones. There's ones out there that they just have no seeds on them, and they're just kind of like the fern-like things. So I assume those are the males, but you can eat both. Both are completely edible, especially in the young stage. Now, if you're like going into this for some sort of production, I'm sure you don't want to keep any of the ferns. You want to just chop them off at the bottom, and then you make use of, for us, and I'm in Central Florida, Zone 9B, and so probably from about March until maybe May or June, that would be the season where you're just taking the spears off continuously. Now, I don't want to do that year round. I've been doing that year round because they're young, but going forward, now that they're going to be in year 4, 5, and so on, they can go up to 30 years old. I'm going to give them the second half of the season off so they can fern, they can pollinate and pollinate and create the fruit, and eventually then I'll germinate them. So I don't want to constantly take the spears for harvest, even though, you could, but I do want to give the plant time to grow the fern-like tops so that it can collect through photosynthesis and all that and send the energy back to the roots so the roots can continue growing year after year. I don't think I want to harvest this thing until it's like I deplete all of its nutrition. So I thought that was pretty cool. All right, sorry I had to interrupt you guys. Buddy had a bark that just wouldn't quit, and I'm really glad I went out there because he found a rat snake, and he probably wouldn't have come off of that if I hadn't actually gone and got him. You'll see a video of that. I took the camera with me for it. Okay, so back to what I was saying. James Stephen at the IFAS website wrote an article calling asparagus, it's in the sparrowgrass family, and it's not widely adapted for Florida. That's true. However, I have asparagus growing here, and it still makes berries, and it's 3 years old, coming up on 4 in January. So, don't be discouraged by that news, okay? Don't let it discourage you, because there are still trials going on, like I said, in Texas. With that being said, I still want to thank Catherine White, because she was telling me that there's another variety called the Jersey Supreme that is being trialed, and it does really good. It outperforms in yield. So, and I think she meant versus the UC-157 F1 hybrid. For me, I really do like this UFC, I hate to call it by its full name, but this Florida variety. I really do love this Florida variety. And I think it's going to be a winner in my books. So, anyhow, let's get back to the other video. It goes all summer long. It doesn't even slow down a bit. As you can see, mine gets the morning and most of the afternoon sun. After I collect all of the seeds, then what I do is I tend to cut it down by about November, December. I've actually, don't know that I've written that ever down. And I kind of clean all the weeds out, and then I add some more straw on top. And we just wait for the spears to come back in March. And so it works really hard. You do not need to keep all this greenery on top. In fact, probably in the next few years I'll stop that. But for right now, sometimes I just let them go accidentally, because like this, you come out 2 days later, 3 days later, and you got a mini tree in there. And so you just miss the spears. But I find that my bunny really loves just like the grassy parts. And that's kind of good filler in the summer when I don't have like broccoli, cabbage, and cauliflower leaves for them. And so she eats a lot of asparagus, longevity spinach, and collards through the summer months, and beans, sometimes beans if I have them. So anyhow, this is 3 years, going on 3 years old over here. And I do have a purple crown that survived my neglect this year. And then I have one more of these that's, it's probably 9 months old. It's a baby. It's still only, you know, a handful of inches long. And so I will transplant that too this fall, or whenever I remember to get out here and do this, as the weather cools down. As we say, we always have to wait for the weather here in Florida. But anyhow, I probably talked your ears off too long, but this is my asparagus garden, and it's really actually producing for us, you know, if we don't require and demand too much of it. It's just going real good. But I hope to get like another 17 years out of this bed, maybe plus, more than that, right? So anyhow, I hope you enjoyed that, and take care, God bless, and I will see you guys in the next one.